Bringing Zubia back in here, I think all these things come into play. The difference, like I said, between when I was young and young people now is their ability to have all this staring at them all day long. When I was young, the most exciting thing you had in front of you was a conker fight, and you'd be studying conkers outside in fresh air. We didn't have any phones. There was no internet. There was nothing like that. You weren't really aware of all the bad stuff going on unless you watched the one TV news bulletin. Now kids are not only aware of it, they're seeing it in real time.
Yeah, there are a lot of different factors. I mean, social media and smartphones absolutely play some role in here. I'd say another thing that has massively changed over the decades as well is just the situations that people are growing up in, their environment, how many different communities that they're plugged into, and how strong are those communities. We know that there's an epidemic of loneliness that we talk about. We talk about the epidemic of suicide, particularly male suicide. We're talking about all of this mental health things. And it's like all of the things that help to keep individuals and societies sane and stable, from family to faith to community to the sense of meaning and purpose that someone else brought up earlier. All of these things have also been eroded over the past, let's say, 50 or 60 years. So when it comes to these situations, I mean, why are people so desperately seeking therapists? I think in many cases, sure, there might be people who really genuinely need a professional therapist, but I think there are also people who just need someone to talk to, and they don't really feel like they have friends or they have parents or family members that they can confide in and talk about these day-to-day issues, and then it builds up and it gets to a stage where they feel like the only thing that they can do is go to a therapist or take medication or perhaps even do something that's far more drastic.
I mean, in the United States, for example, I read recently that 80% of the world's painkillers are sold in the United States. 80%. I mean, we think we're over-medicated here. My God, I mean, in the US, it's really out of control.
Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, the USA has, I believe, 4% of the world's population. And then, as you said, they're taking 80% plus of the pain medication and things like opioids. And these things are causing massive crises in the USA. Every year, over 100,000 people in the USA, American citizens, are dying of drug overdoses. That's 100,000 deaths. So imagine how many other people are abusing those substances. And these are genuinely scary numbers. 100,000 people dying per year of something that is completely avoidable. I think that should be much bigger news. But as I said, I don't know every single solution. But I think for the diagnosis, we have to go down the tree a little bit and not just hack at the branches and the twigs, but we need to get to the root of the problem. And it's not going to be one single thing. It's going to be multiple things. And I think several of them have been mentioned.